Quite often, your best memorable, recordable experiences come from exotic places that you've never been before and you're seeing the world differently. But some of them come from right at your gate. Someone owes me a pick. I remember now. I remember surprise. A pick? Who borrows a pick? I remember scratching and hauling to find the pick in the shed. I remember the borrower wasn't anyone obvious like a neighbour. I remember he came in a grey 4x4, full of thanks and promises of return tomorrow. What I don't remember is who the borrower was. And until Saturday, I remembered nothing. I hadn't remembered the pick, which I bet is not the case for him. Every time he enters his shed, he sees his gatecrasher pick and he agonizes. Who did he borrow it from? But on Saturday, our weekly gardener, Jeff, put in overtime. He's Tuesdays normally, but there's a heavy digging job at hand, and Jeff is a doer more than an asker. He answers all questions that begin, "Can you?" with yes. And when he needs tools he doesn't have, he makes a plan. So I was surprised when he asked for a pick. More surprised to learn that on Tuesdays, Phineas regularly lends him next door's pick. Frequently, Jeff lends Phineas our saw, and this is all pretty uplifting actually, discovering that my tools contribute to neighbourly collaboration that I never knew about. But today is Saturday, Phineas is absent, and Phineas's employer, Chester, could supply the pick, but he's on voicemail. So I leave Chester a message, and then I think, I don't know if he's going to come back in 5 minutes or in 5 hours, I'd better spread the net. So I ring neighbours. Dirk is on voicemail, Andy is on voicemail, and I think maybe neither has a pick anyway, so I'll try Dorothy, but she's on voicemail. Maybe nobody's going to hear this message until Jeff is having his after-work shower. So I stretch my sights a little bit. I phone Lynn. She's a whole 5-minute walk away, not exactly a neighbour, but close. And Lynn answers the phone, hooray! And she has a pick, hooray! And I start walking towards her while SMSing cancel messages to Chester, to Dirk, to Andy and to Dorothy. I'm barely past Andy's gate, stabbing at phone buttons, when his name pings. Pick ready and waiting. I reply 60 seconds. I start a quick SMS to relieve Lynn. Dorothy's name pops up. Her gardener collaborator, Kaylet. By the way, these guys are quite famous. Dorothy does giant portraits of desert plants, and Kaylet works with her, and these things you see in galleries. Kaylet is bringing me a pick. Dorothy's not saying, yes, I've got a pick. She's saying Kaylet's on his way with the pick. Priority switches to relieving Kaylet. Pete's voice rings out. He's walking up the road clutching a pick. Huh? Where did Pete come into this? He says, your message to Dirk reminded him to remind me that I have his pick. Return it direct to him, will you? So now I have an actual pick in hand. Kaylet's walking down the road with another. Wow. I zoop home. I leave Dirk's pick behind my gate. I rush to Andy, who must be wondering if I lost my way. I'm 10 steps short, stabbing at half messages to Lynn and Dorothy. When Kaylet arrives, I take delivery, put his pick behind my gate. I resume the hurtle to Andy. I find Lynn's husband, Vince, walking down the road with a pick I'm supposedly collecting. Neighbour Mzwandile pulls up in his unique little Lani bubble car, Ferrari red with speed stripes. He asks what I'm up to. So I mumble, I'm on a mission to borrow a pick. A pick, he says, half hearing, easy, right here in my garage. I assure him the offer is appreciated, but it is not adopted. Behind my gate by now is a pick warehouse. I pick the solidest pick and I take it to the far corner. I find Jeff swinging an energetic pick on the second of today's pick holes. All is well, he says. Phineas has reappeared and has passed him Tuesday's pick back over the fence as per normal. To the person who never returned my pick, I have a message. Thank you. You've put me in more touch with my neighbourhood and you've given me more affection for it as a place of householders and employees getting on in contentment and cooperation. There's only one problem, getting the right picks back to the right owners. Perhaps it's best they just come by and take their pick.